Barbershop. I'm your host, Matt Horner, and with my co-host, Keith. How you doing?
Great, Matt. How are you today?
Oh, you look like you're a little beat up and tired.
I am.
What happened? Man, you look like crap. You need a haircut?
Yeah, I do need a haircut, actually. But we were installing countertops yesterday.
That's right. We worked late.
You were nice enough to come over and help me do that.
Yeah, you gave me beer and food and chicken, so I came over and put my carpentry skills to laminate countertops.
Yep, and I was up till 11 installing the plumbing into the sink.
It always seems to go that way.
It does.
It always seems to cost more, take more time when you do a project.
Well, you said it was going to take all day, but I didn't know you meant all day and all night.
Yeah. Well, if you just move faster.
Yeah.
If I didn't make my mistakes.
You'd quit tripping over vacuum hoses. So
today's show is about home projects. Often guys come in and the barbershop and they talk about, what you're doing, your projects.
Yeah.
And I've often thought, we, especially men, but people in general, but men especially, were born to create, born to build, born to take care of and maintain.
Sure.
It's why we have the pyramids. It's why we have the Roman aqueducts. It's rock crawlers and low riders. And
yeah.
It's,
Totally.
It's everything from monster trucks to, guys doing other projects, wood projects. I'm a carpenter. I love cutting hair and wood. And so... And so we often take on projects. So that's today's show. And I just wanted to share about some of the, the idea of projects and what it happens. I got a few stories. And the first story is learning how to fence. Building fences is something I've always had difficult times with because it seems like I always find the water line and cut right through it. Have you ever done that?
Yes, actually, yeah.
I mean, we bought this house. It needed a fence. It didn't have a fence, so I'm going to build a beautiful privacy fence.
Okay.
And we go rent, because I'm going to be lazy, one of them two-person augers that you use to dig a hole with.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever used one of them?
I've never used one, no.
Let me tell you, they're a workout. I don't think they really save your muscles any more than the old-fashioned post-hole diggers.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah. But you catch a root on that thing and you don't let go, that thing will spin you like a top, that little auger. Oh,
my goodness.
And,
will it throw you?
Oh, yeah. It threw me. And then, so I'm grabbing hold of this auger. We're getting it. We're going up and down, up and down. And I'm thinking, yeah, this dirt's going. And about, 15 foot away is an oak tree that's probably 100 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going, and it catches a root, and it jerks. And I see my buddy let go. Well, once he lets go, I got all of it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Threw you right into that oak
Of course,
tree.
you catch eyes like, and he looks big at me, and I'm thinking, you let go. And those handles, so it rips out of my hand, right? It rips out of my hand, and then it spins. Well, his handles spin around, and it catches me in the rib cage.
Oh, man.
And knocks me to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, Junto karate
you
chop.
Just got drop kicked by this auger.
Right in the chest, and I'm just doubled over, right in the bread basket, I mean...
That's hilarious.
And so I was watching videos about, funny projects, and I saw a guy with the same thing. They were doing the same thing, but this guy just wouldn't let go.
Oh, my goodness.
And he was it looked like a man who was probably 115 pounds, 120 pounds, and it just, swung him like a merry-go-round.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's funny, when you're doing things like that, what keeps us holding on?
I don't know.
I mean, I've been having a rope or been drugged by a horse and stuff, and it's just like...
Let go.
Let go, but... In my mind, it's like, hold on tight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why do we do that?
I seen this video one time, and this guy was he was on a loading dock.
Yeah.
He had a fork truck there, the little pallet jack.
Yeah.
And it went over, and it slingshotted him.
Yeah.
Straight over the top. And... yeah, the whole time I was thinking, this thing's tipping forward, and you grab on.
You grab on.
Going for a ride.
Yeah. I've been sledding behind a four-wheeler, and so we got a sled.
Yeah.
And of course, we put a ski rope on the back of the four-wheeler, and, the sled flies out from under you, and you just kind of hold on for another 15 feet but luckily it's snow.
Yeah.
But I guess that's our internal.
We've seen a lot of movies, where... I'm reminded of Maverick. Remember Maverick was dancing along the backside of that stagecoach, and
yeah,
I mean it's just but it's not realistic.
Yeah, Yeah.
Some people do skiing on the back of a car, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and just thinking, no, there's no way.
So we got back up on that auger, and I started digging some more holes.
Okay.
And so, we laugh about it. At first, it's like, oh, it's funny when it's your buddy, too. You just stop, point, and laugh, and then you're like, is everything okay?
Right, yeah. First
you got to
laugh.
and then you go, is anything broke?
Yeah. How big a hole is it digging?
I think it was cutting like a 9-inch hole. You can buy different drill bits
Sure.
for this thing. And, the only hydraulic arms you got is the one that God gave you.
Exactly.
The 2 arms attached to your torso or your body. And so we keep knocking holes out. You're thinking you're doing good. And my backyard only has one thing going through it, and that, I guess 2. My sewer line. No, it didn't even have my sewer. It just had my water line going from my meter to my house.
Okay.
And you just feel like, man, you're the unluckiest guy. We're drilling holes, and it's going good. And then all of a sudden, bubble, 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 water's just coming out of the hole. And I drilled right into the middle of that I don't know, it might have been a 1-inch or 3/4 PVC line.
Mm-hmm.
You think, man, out of everything,
Yeah.
You
could have never
1
dug it.
inch is all I needed to.
And if you were looking for that line, you'd have never found it.
You never found it.
But when you're
you
not
dig
looking for it.
Call dig test. That's what they say, because there's always something under the ground. But
Yeah.
you call dig test when you start a digging project?
So, and we could probably have another entire podcast on digging accidents.
Yeah.
But when we moved into our house here in Cisco, the sewer was clogged, and we didn't know that when we bought the house, of course.
Yeah.
But we found out pretty quick when the toilets wouldn't flush about 2 or 3 weeks into it. Anyway, so I start digging out the sewer line, and I ended up tapping into a 12-inch sewer main line that the city had going in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And the city crew had to come out at 9:00 at night.
I did the same thing.
They had a light kit out there, and they, it may have not been 12 inches. Maybe it was smaller. Maybe it was like 8 inches. But it was a big line, and that line supplied all the homes. So there's all their waste is just pouring right into my backyard, and it was a big mess.
Nice. Good fertilizer.
Yeah, so I've had some experience hitting some lines.
Yeah. I did the same thing. We bought a house, the sewer was backed up, and so I thought, well, I'll just replace the line. Had the old clay pipe, so it was just old, maybe 80 years old.
Yeah, that's
probably
how
when the house was built. And so we got pretty deep and pretty rocky. So, me being the cool man I am, I tell Sarah we need to go rent some equipment, and so I'll go get me a little bitty backhoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a cabinet maker and a barber my whole life. No equipment experience. So I'm learning on the job.
And you feel like a man on top of the
Oh, man,
the
you
Mini
get
X.
on it, and it's the Mini X, too. It's not
Yeah.
even like the real bad Mamma Jamma
it's the
thing.
Mini X.
It's the Mini. They
That's
call
what
it
I was-
Mini X, but still, my testosterone went
Oh,
up.
my gosh, yeah.
I'm
I've
pulling it
got
on the
this-
trailer with my truck,
You
going
know,
through town. And I'm
it's
just
like-
like a little kid, like I'm at the red light. Like, look at this bad boy.
And it reminds me of the park. You remember they used to have those excavators
Oh,
you
yeah.
sat on and you pulled the handles?
Yeah, the little sand lot.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or the communal
So you
litter
feel
box.
like you're... Exactly.
As a little boy, you're like, I'm reaching over there and I'm picking up that cat turd. Yep,
Yeah,
got it.
got
Just
it.
locked it in. Now let's turn 360 degrees and drop the cat turd with the other cat turd.
Yeah. So you definitely feel like a man
Yeah.
in
So
a Mini X.
just proud, just driving through town with your Mini X. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a really cool four-wheeler or something. But
Totally.
So I get on that thing. And, of course, when I was there, they showed me what does what and what controls. And I'm playing around with it, and I'm digging, and probably digging too much is what later was told to me. And I know I'm getting close to the city main just like you. And I'd get down there, but it was hard clay. I think it was dry, and I'd get in a shovel. It was like you needed an axe to cut through this dirt. And so I got a grubbing hoe, and I keep going. I get tired. I get wore out. So I think, well, just 1 or 2 more scoops with this Mini X. And it's just like the show off King of the Hill, if you ever seen that episode. I drive, Hank off King of the Hill, they keep digging with their little Mini X that he rented. And there's a daisy on the other side of the hole, and they make a bet who can reach over with the claw and scoop up the daisy.
Okay.
And the daisy stays beautiful and perfect.
Inside the bucket.
Yeah, so you're basically just picking up a flower by its roots,
Okay.
inside the bucket. Of course, they fall into the hole. The whole Mini X does, you know what I'm saying? Tilted because they're reaching way too far out.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's what I was doing. And so, I mean, I'd just tap away, oh, yeah, and I'd get back down. And it was still, and I'm probably only needing at this point 6 inches of dirt.
Sure.
But I'm being lazy, and I have this really cool tool that,
Yeah.
and man, I tear through the sidewall of that main, 12-inch sewer main.
Oh, my gosh.
With that Mini X and sewer, same thing. Immediately, I'm just panicking. And all of a sudden, this goes back to home projects. I just had the cost of my sewer line, but now I'm going to have to pay for the cost of the city sewer line that I just destroyed.
Exactly.
And home projects happen that way. They end up snowballing into
never know what you're going to get into.
Bigger deals.
And digging that hole, is like pulling off paneling. You never know what's behind the paneling. Pulling out a vanity. You don't know what's behind there. And so you pulled that off. And that's why remodeling is such a risky business.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the lotto ticket of construction.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of remodels, they should tell you, the customer at the outset, hey, we don't know what this wall is going to, we could run into plaster. We could run into, I've seen concrete in the wall.
Yeah.
People poured concrete in the wall to do some random thing. And now we've got to chisel out this concrete to
hidden chimneys and that have been covered up with sheetrock and studs.
And so
we got a brick fireplace here. Yeah.
Or to talk about flooring, you pull out the flooring and you realize that the floor's rotten. So then you take the floor out and you realize the floor joists are rotten. Mm-hmm. So remodeling it's a risky business.
And so that was I tore up the sewer line and I had to pay for a licensed plumber. The city wanted a licensed plumber to come fix their part.
For me, it was the city guys, and I had to pay their overtime and all the materials. It cost me around $400.
Yeah,
for them to come out that night and take care of it.
Yeah, sometimes saving money, you just kind of kicks you in the butt.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Save the time, save the money.
So sometimes it's worth doing it.
Yeah,
you often think, well, I don't need to do it myself because I always end up spending more money. It's like me and plumbing. Me and plumbing, I will go. It's something like a simple sink.
Yeah,
but I got to go to the plumbing store, buy every plumbing part they got. I might as well just grab the biggest basket, just walk down the aisle, and just throw in anything.
That's what I did. You saw us last night. I had all that stuff that I bought. And you never know what you're gonna need.
I probably only need $15 worth of plastic drain parts.
Right.
But I'm gonna buy $65 worth.
Exactly.
And then I never return the stuff.
Nope.
Half the time I open every package because I need this nut and that ring and all that stuff.
Well, last night I had that piece that we needed.
Yeah.
And it was in my shop in a drawer, and it's been there for years.
Yeah.
So that's one of the times where I bought something, extra part, didn't return it, but hey, now I've got it. And we needed it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it works out, but you're right. I mean,
yeah. And
better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it.
So I'm pretty much now, when it comes to plumbing, I hire a plumber.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's just
plumbing and electrical.
Yeah, even though they show up and they go, it's $75 an hour, and I just want to clench my chest.
Sure.
I know I'm about to buy $75 worth of parts if I.
Exactly.
And so I just been down that road too much. But painting, I can, I think that's one thing people feel like they can do. And the commercials today on TV is like, paint and primer in one, you can do this. And the types of tape they have for taping off. And
sure.
And then with these new things on the internet, my wife likes to look at Pinterest and stuff. And so they show different paint techniques. And then the greatest thing is the teacher of all teachers, YouTube, can teach you a lot.
Yeah, it can. And painting is something I learned working with my uncle.
Yeah.
And he taught me how to paint properly. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So
yeah,
I don't hire people to paint
for
me. I paint myself.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, we paint together. And so, but I've gone into homes and they've hired somebody to paint.
Yeah.
And I'm very critical because to me, it just doesn't look good. They didn't do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
The paint lines are crooked and paint on the ceiling, stuff like that. So
yeah.
It is possible to hire somebody and then they just don't do the job that you were hoping that they would do. So it's always a dilemma.
Yeah. I ever tell you about the time I almost went blind painting?
No.
It happens, man.
You even have glasses.
I know.
How did that
About
happen?
ruined a pair of glasses.
How'd that happen?
So it was some of the most simple painting you could ever do. I had a can of black spray paint. I was painting some little wood projects black, and then I'd lacquer them over them, And me being cheap, what's a can of spray paint?
It's $1 at
$5.
Walmart.
Okay.
If you're going with the cheap brand is only 89
Well, I don't want to.
cents.
I have this nice used can, and it feels heavy and full.
Uh-huh.
I'm shaking it. It's like, I ain't wasting this. I ain't wasting this. I am not a wasteful man.
Probably been frozen
You know
in
what
the
I'm
shop
saying?
2 or 3 times.
So I get like, I squirted it first, and it has, and since it's already got paint on the tip, it's not giving me a good fan spray.
Okay.
So it has like, it's kind of like when you pee and your pee goes off to the left or right. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It gives me a weird pee spray. And I'm like, whoa, look out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, I got to clean the tip,
Right.
So what do I have? I go get a toothpick.
Okay.
I scratch on it. It's like, and so it's still not spraying right. So then I turn and I'm looking at the tip.
gosh.
Okay.
My gun's not
So
shooting.
my gun's not shooting. It's kind of like the little boy. My BB gun's clogged. Let me look down the barrel.
Exactly.
So I grabbed the toothpick, and I wedged that toothpick in there just right where it is coming out like Niagara Falls.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, it hits me in the face and on the neck and down the shirt, and I'm like, "Wah!" And of course, it hits me in the glasses.
Uh-huh.
And I mean,
Good thing you had glasses on.
no joke.
Yeah, you didn't have paint in your eye.
So let me just say this to anybody listening to this show. Spray paint's about $1 to $5. $5 for the good stuff.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah.
If your tip is clogged.
Just
You got the bad pee-pee spray?
go buy a new one.
Just go buy a new one. So
We wanted
you
to
can, ruin your eyesight with spray
Yeah.
paint. And it kind of hit me like half on the nose and got me in the face, and so the whole day, I mean, I think I had a huff paint because I just basically gave me a nasal spray of
snorted paint.
yeah.
We were painting in our house now, and my wife is also a Pinterest lady. She loves the fixer upper. She loves Pinterest. She loves all that, and she's a great interior designer. So she's really good at that. And we were painting the outside of our fireplace is steel, where the glass doors are, and it was this ugly copper color, and she wants to paint it flat black. So we buy the high temp flat black at Walmart, and of course that wasn't $1 paint, but so I'm thinking
Eye roller.
yeah, seriously. really went all
You're
out
like
on-
Otter. I could see you like, Amanda, this is $3 spray paint. You sure you can't use this dollar?
Shut up. So anyway, I'm sitting here thinking, we're gonna just be spraying in the middle of our living room, and there is a lot of overspray.
Yeah.
With spray paint, I mean, it'll settle down on everything. So I had this hot idea. We just replaced our shower curtains.
Oh yeah, take the old shower curtain.
So that's what I did, and here I am under the shower curtain. We got our kids; they're holding it like a little tent, And as I'm spraying this stuff on the inside of the shower curtain, I'm thinking, okay, so it's not getting everywhere else, but guess where it is going?
Straight to the floor?
Into my lungs too.
Oh.
I'm inside this enclosed.
Yeah, you made yourself a little tent.
Yeah.
You're huffing good.
And so, man, it was crazy. Yeah. And they're trying to hold it up, and it's not. It was somebody should have been recording that. That would have been awesome.
The worst paint high I ever got, and this is crazy. So me and my wife come to Cisco. We buy this house that had been smoked in for since it was probably built, 60 years. We got a heck of a deal because of the whole smoke issue.
Right.
Where they would take off a painting or a picture off the wall, there would be a shadow of nicotine tar smoke
around it. Yep.
I remember they had the little Texas with barbed wire.
Okay.
Little plaque this is a plaque the shape of Texas, and I remember seeing clearly a great Texas shadow on the wall
Right there on the wall.
and it was so horrible. So I'd been down this, and I knew that these walls and these ceilings. This lady died of emphysema in this house. Dude, she was on auction, probably just token away.
Uh-huh.
So we go get the stuff that is for concrete block and stuff. I go to Sherman-Williams, I show them pictures of how bad the house is. They say, "Man, this is the primer. It won't," and it did work. I mean, it was amazing, good primer, but it was oil-based primer. And they said, "Man, wear respirators." And I mean, they gave us the warning. So we buy this expensive primer. We put it in a spray rig. We go in that house. I mean, because everything from base to ceiling to wall trim, window trim had to be primed. And I mean, and so me and my brother get out there, and I mean, we are spraying. Both of us in overalls, and two identical twins, just spraying. Okay, and we pretty soon, you know, one of us like trips over something. The other guy just busts out laughing. You know, something silly like we're laughing, and then we're laughing. It's just like Tommy Boy when they start laughing about the sign ROADs, ROADs, and we are giggling. Now, I just moved to this neighborhood. I'm not technically in the house. Everybody sees us, so my neighbors are getting to know me. Everything. Well, me and my brother, he starts making fun of me back when I was a mascot at the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, calling me a cheerleader. And I said, "Buddy, you could never do a cartwheel as good as me." And he goes, "Man, I could kick your butt in a cartwheel like you'd never know." Now, so we go outside to prove this cartwheel challenge. Okay.
Meanwhile, you're high as a kite.
Now, we look like two white snowmen, okay, because we've been spraying and overspray, so there's primer. And, I mean, our faces are white. We got little, just where our masks were around our nose and everything, kind of like a weird Oompa Loompa snowman.
Right.
Overalls. And we get to doing these cartwheels. And we're busting on our butt. I remember my brother, he does this one cartwheel, legs don't even get around there, and it just lays flat on his rear end and back, and we're just laughing. Of course, we're not feeling any of this either. Right. You know what I'm saying? Laughing. The whole time, there's this nice old man. It's just like a Norman Rockwell setting. He's sitting on his porch swing, just looking at me. And we are high as a kite, and he's just sitting there. And then I just finally rise up from doing a cartwheel. I look across the street, and the whole neighborhood is just out watching us. And I go, "Milton, I think we're high." And he goes, "I know, my head's starting to hurt." And I go, "Let's walk to the Dairy Queen." So we walk to the Dairy Queen, laughing the whole time there. We order some chicken tender basket, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or steak finger basket. By this time, our heads are just going ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. You know what I'm saying?
You're hurting.
We're hurting. I mean, I'm coming down off this high. I'm just drinking whatever soda I got. Mm-hmm. I can't even leave. Well, Milton goes, "I ain't wasting this food." And so we leave. I forget what he's doing. So we go back to painting, where our wives had went to go do something, and they come back in, and they go, "Man, y'all okay? Y'all doing all right?" And they go to hug my brother, his wife, you know what I'm saying? And she pats him on the chest, you know, right? What's in the overalls? Gravy and steak fingers. We were so hot, Dairy Queen. We had headaches, but we couldn't eat. So we put the steak fingers and gravy in our overalls.
Awesome.
Anyway, I'm just going to tell you, when you're in enclosed, and you're spraying stuff,
gotta be careful.
I mean, it'll kill you.
Yeah.
So painting ain't no joke either.
That is hilarious. The cartwheels in the yard. Oh my gosh, it's priceless.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
I wish that was on video, or I could have been there.
So
to see you doing a cartwheel in general would have
have been able to do one.
It would have been
was varsity cheer though, let me tell you.
Varsity cheer.
Mm-hmm.
That is hilarious.
So,
and you know, when men retire from their job, they spend time where? Where do they go?
They go to the garage, the shop.
That's their man zone.
We did a whole show about where is your man cave. Yeah, where's your safe spot?
Your safe space.
Well, we all know where our safe spot is. A 2-year-old finds that pretty quick.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, but our safe space, college has their safe spaces. Married men have their safe spaces.
The man
zone. It's called the garage, the shop.
Mm-hmm. The shed.
The barbershop.
The barbershop.
Yeah. So, and we tinker there.
Yeah.
And we find projects, and we want to do projects, but we want to complain about them too. Let's just be honest about that, you know.
And one of my favorite things when Amanda says, "I got a project for you to do," I always find a tool that I need to buy to do that project.
Where else are you going to throw those forward-coming savings?
Exactly.
I mean, honey, let me do this. And the money that we save, I'm going to be able to buy my welder.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could buy the tool.
Yeah. I could
and have
buy
it forever.
Oh, you need a little $500 little welding job? Well, good. I'll go get that $3,000 welder I've been needing. I've been wanting a handrail really bad too.
Exactly. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love tools.
Uh-huh.
And you go into some of these older men, and their garage is pristine. Every tool is perfectly in its place.
Yeah.
And you're just it's just very masculine. This is the place where work is done.
Yeah. That's not our lives right now.
No,
We
not
got,
mine
we
at
got
all.
little boys.
I've got tools everywhere.
You know,
You
I
saw
had
my
a-
kitchen table yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah. When I do a project, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Tools
But
everywhere.
another thing, too, is I got little boys who want to tinker as well because
Yeah.
we're making little men.
Sure.
And I remember my dad, and it came to me the other day. My dad gave me a spanking one time because he found some rusty tools out in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, man, my dad is just a stick in the mud.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's just so hard on me.
Yeah.
He's just so difficult. Now that I find my rusty hammer and needle nose pliers, you know, you can't really use needle nose once they become rusty.
Well, I mean, I do. I reuse everything, but
yeah.
because it's who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. You squeak when you walk.
Thanks.
But and so I remember now I was getting on to my son and I'm telling him, and I knew what he was doing. He was acting like he was mechanicking on his bicycle.
Oh,
You know, he has to soup it up. So my stuff is
custom bicycle
yeah.
work.
And so my stuff's out there. And it was just like it came to me. Like, I remember my dad giving me these talks.
Mm-hmm. I got in big trouble one time. My dad was a tree trimmer.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own business doing that. And he had some pruners. And I was supposed to swing by and pick up these pruners because we'd left him on the job. And I blew it off big time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not happy.
Yeah.
And I got in big trouble over that one.
Yeah. So when you're doing projects, you want your tools in place.
Yep.
You want your shop to be organized. I always admire when I go into a guy's shop and it's
Well, you saw how organized mine was.
yeah. Well, we're at the same stage of life, so
And your kids, you tell kids take something to the shop.
you think like you could have a pegboard when you tell your kids this,
Uh-huh.
and you could have spray painted a shadow of like some pruners
Exactly.
that go where that you have imprinted. It's just like a little kid. Square hole, square peg.
Right.
Put that there. What do? They lay it right on the floor. They open the door,
Put it on the floor.
just drop it.
Yeah. That's exactly what they do. Just drop it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you walk through the door.
And I hate to say this, but I'm going to throw my wife under the bus here. Women are the same way. Now, but if we're in their zone, you put your like measuring cups. She's got a drawer for her measuring
Sure.
cups.
Don't put those in another drawer.
Don't put those in another drawer. Teaspoons or whatever. The little
Yeah, yeah.
measuring spoons. Those
Everything has a place.
Everything has a place.
Yeah.
But so I'm pretty guilty. The other day she was baking, and I think I threw something somewhere.
Yeah. And that's the thing about the house. The shop is it's like our space. It's what we can do anything. If we want to put a dartboard or a funky picture, this is where because we can't. You and I both know men just can't hang anything on the wall anywhere in the house.
I mean, they want our opinion, but do they?
Right. I mean, and it's it's got to be a picture of this or picture of that.
Yeah.
And so the shop, the garage, that's where we just get to. If we want to put a nail on the wall right here to hold this thing, do it.
Yeah. We would be living in caves if we didn't have women.
Of course.
Now, they would be the coolest caves.
Yes, this is so practical.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we needed a cubby, hand me a chisel and a stone. I'll carve out a cubby right here.
Exactly. When we were installing the countertops yesterday, and we had built the countertops before we put the laminate on, I looked at them, the whole particle board and the edging, and I thought, this looks good.
I'm done.
Let's stain this thing,
Yeah.
or just lacquer it and be done. Because, but anyway.
But going back to projects, and we all have a projects.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. That particle board and maple hardwood banding.
That looks good.
Pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Let's just lacquer it and call it a day.
Yeah.
But it came time to pick a sink
Mm-hmm.
and laminate and choices like that,
Yep.
a man of wisdom brought his wife in.
That's right.
Now, you bought 3 sinks. You probably spent almost $1,000 in
It was
sinks.
$900, yeah.
Okay. And she couldn't go with you to the hardware or the Home Depot or
Right.
Lowe's or box
Stopped
store.
in at Lowe's. Mm-hmm.
So you picked 3 choices, and, she picked the heaviest one, thank you. And
That sink was so heavy.
it was so heavy. But that was wisdom there, because you've done enough projects now that you know that she's going to be picking the color, the
Right.
laminate choice, this
Sure.
and that, and you're going to be part of the process.
Yeah.
But she's the mastermind of design,
Definitely.
and that's a big part of projects. Is the times I've screwed up and had to repaint a room is because I picked the paint color.
Yep.
Or
I
when I
don't-
thought that picture looked good there, I was wrong,
Yeah.
and I moved it. So when you do projects at home, it's a team effort.
It is. And if you make the mistake of just being bullheaded and strong about it and not getting her opinion on it, you're not only wasting your time
Yeah.
because it's coming down,
Uh-huh.
but you're also minimizing her expert. And I do mean this in a very sincere way. They're very good at what they do.
They are. I think they pick up color better. They have.
I mean, we should do a podcast on that, but we need to talk about how women complete men.
So
But, yeah, home
Anyway,
projects.
home
you need to get your
projects-
wife's advice.
from fencing, falling off ladders, picking wrong colors, being part of a team, teaching your kids, you learn a lot.
Yep,
So
and you spend a lot.
you spend a lot, and you might redo it. It's just a process, so enjoy it.
Yep.
So at the barbershop, enjoy your projects that you're doing.
Next time.
Next time.